Ludus, Vulpes.
Welcome to Ludus Vulpes. My name's Kirsty.
I'm Phil.
You join us as we run through our opinions and thoughts on village rails.
Choo choo!
That was really incredibly loud.
Choo choo!
This tiny little box here is packed full with fun, journeys.
I know how to do it. Like, how do you deliver a game that's smaller than my face and still produce a decent quality thinky game? It's a trick. Osprey Games have done it's like the TARDIS.
It's a magic.
It's bigger on the inside than
It's the same colour as the TARDIS blue. Yeah. I think it is, yes. It's the same colour. Anyway, Village Rails, a fantastic game which plays up to, I'm just checking.
4.
It is 4 players, isn't it? Because A, B, C, D. It can take up to about an hour, depending on who you're playing with. And it's a tactical game. I think it's actually described as a game of locomotives and local motives. Love it. Love it.
Well punned, Osprey Games. Congratulations to you. So, without any further ado, let's go and have a look at how the game plays. So let's play it down to the table. I'll talk you through the game, and then we'll give you a couple of rounds, sample rounds, because the rounds go by pretty quick.
Yes, they do.
So we'll give you a couple of sample rounds, and we'll take it from there. So join us at the table. Hiya!
So here we are back down at the table, and you can see that we are part of the way through a game. We're fairly early on because we want to give you an example of how it is to actually play this game. In terms of components, we've got coins here in the middle, which is a supply of which we can access. We have our own coin supplies. We have terminus cards, which I'll just give you a little insight into mine here. They basically equal the points at the end of each line. They terminate a line, hence terminus cards. There is a stack of cards here, which are double-sided. One side are the trips and the scoring points on the trips. The other side are beautiful different countrysides, as you can see along here, that your trains will be travelling through.
Choo choo.
Choo, indeed, choo. You'll note we've also got boards here. Mine is boards B and Phil's is board C. These were picked at the beginning of the game from A, B, C, D at random, and all it does is just alternates the player board each time for players to give a little bit of variety.
So, how does the game play? So the game's got a couple of fiddlies, which we'll come to.
There's a little score tracker too.
Yeah, there is a little score tracker. It's really nice. The rulebook does a pretty good job of talking you through it, but it'll still take the end of your first play before you've got it grasped in your head. But once you've played it like once, you've probably got the game locked in. So first and foremost, we've got 2 markets where you've got the route market and the ticket market. So these are locomotives that are going to be chunking down your routes, and these are the routes you're going to be building for them. And each turn, you must draft 1 card from the routes. In standard drafting procedure, you're going to place a coin on the card you don't want until you get to the card you do want. And if at any point you pick up a card with coins on it, those cards become yours.
The coins
greedy money
become
person.
Yours as well as the card.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be grabbing cards from that market. And if you want to grab one of these little journeys with the locomotives, the first thing you're going to have to do is pay 3 of your coins.
Hard-earned cash.
And then a coin per card until you get to the one you want. Now, you're going to be adding these to the routes you're building, and that's when we move to this part of the board here, which is your route building area of the board. And you have a 3x4 grid that you're going to be laying your cards in. So I've completed a route here, and it's a 3-course long. When you've completed a course, you're going to terminate it with a terminus card. Immediately, you get to replace that terminus card. And fortunately, I had a locomotive doing a journey on this track as well.
Very lucky you.
Fortunately for Kirsty, she did something similar, but she had 2 locomotives on that track. And oddly, we both terminated 1 route and we're both at 16 points. So that's interesting. Now,
very much so.
You can place these route cards anywhere into this grid as long as it's touching another line. So
yes.
I couldn't play here because it's not touching a line, but I could play here, here, or here. So
yes.
that's how that's going to work. Now, every time you complete a line, so I've completed this line all the way across here, you must terminate it. Terminating a line is how you're going to get money in the game.
Yeah, you're getting paid for building your line.
Yeah, and then you're going to score victory points based on the line itself and the journey that people have taken on that line.
The train of which is travelling along the line also give you points. You can terminate a line without there being a train there.
Correct.
For example, if I was to... Not be able to find a card now, am I? Let's find an example. I can't find an example. If I was to... No. No.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So if you complete a line, it doesn't have to have a locomotive
No, it doesn't.
on it.
Yeah, that's an added bonus.
You can have up to 2 locomotives per line, and
Yes.
you cannot put a locomotive onto a terminated line.
No.
So I couldn't have done terminate and then add this locomotive. That had to be on there first. So it's a little bit of a risk there, whether you're going to achieve it or not. But fortunately I did, and this gave me 6 points for the locomotive. These 2 yellow symbols on my straight line across here are signals, and that gave me 8 points for having 2 signals on the line. These little blue symbols here just give you points.
Immediate
so
points.
2 points, which is nice. And then I score for anything else on the line. So that was all I'm scoring on that line. That's absolutely fine.
There is a handy little player card which is included, and it gives you 2 pieces of information. The first one, it's upside down, shows you the different terrain types. The other one, which is actually on the other side, shows you how the scores work.
So, you'll be building lines. You'll be terminating lines. Now, you're going to terminate over the course of the game 7 lines.
Yes.
So, as the game progresses, you're going to terminate 7 lines. Lines are going to give you money, but you're also going to want to score and maximise your victory points from those on the nifty little dials. So,
Woo!
you're going to draw cards, play cards into your tableau. As soon as the line's complete, you're going to terminate it and score any points for that line. Right at the end of the game, you'll also score points on the final piece, which is this one just at the bottom here, which is the purple one, which is endgame scoring. And that's for sidings, and you've got a maximum of 7, which will give you 49 points. If you have 7 lines...
I think Phil's getting that, this one.
He's probably not going to get... 7's really tough, because you're putting a siding on each line, and it's not always convenient.
No.
So, shall we play around?
Yes, let's.
So,
whose turn is it?
Well, easy way of checking. Have we all got 4 cards? Yes, we have.
Yes.
I was the first player. That must make it my go. So, what I'm going to do on my go is I'm looking at what I've got here. From a points perspective, I've got this one's going to score me for wheat fields. So if I can get some wheat in on this line, that'd be good. But wheat's all the way up here, which feels a long, long way off. So what I'm probably going to do is think about something really simple. Now, I am going to... I am probably going to take this card here.
Okay.
Which gives me a signals, which signals are useful. And it gives me some cows. I've already got some cows coming on this line as well. So I think I'm going to just drop that on there in case I can get some benefit for cows. Now, these will move down here, and this will get replaced.
So before I begin my turn, I'm going to have a quick look at my terminus cards to see what I'm scoring. Phil, close your ears. So I'm looking for number of water on the line, number of trains assigned to the line, and the number of one terrain type on the line. So that's worth me bearing in mind when I'm looking at what's available. Just going to pop those there. So I could go for all water along here and try and get some points. This one is going to give me points for different types on the line. And I do want maybe to go for that maybe here, because I've already got a cattle. I know that's a cattle and a village. So I could spend 3 to begin with and take this one.
Which gives you a coin back.
Gives me a coin, which is a nice little added bonus there. So I'm now looking to have every terrain type on the line which is different. What's also worth bearing in mind in this game is that the terrain types along the border are included in that variety. So I've already got 2 here, and now I'm looking to add a card. Now I think I'm going to do what I said, and I'm going to put a coin there to take this water one to begin hopefully building this track for water.
You're going to move those over. Now, the first card that went was this one, so these come over here.
The one thing to note is always check at the end of your go, have I completed any lines? The answer in this case is no. Play moves on.
It does indeed.
However, with my last thought, I should have looked and saw if there were any other more water cards coming out.
You might be taking a little bit of delay.
Yes.
You're looking, and at this stage, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that's going to work for me around here. That wheat field's coming in quite nice at the moment. So I think I'm going to drop 2 coins here and here and take this wheat field, which is going to slot in. Oh, it terminates a line though.
How does it?
There. But that's okay.
Oh, there. I thought you were putting it there.
I can cope with that. Actually then, before I do that, what I'm going to do is spend 3 coins, take 2 back, and then 1, 2. So this is slightly out of sequence.
Yep.
So I'm going to take that first and play it there. Then I'm going to buy that card and slot it in here.
So this one comes down here.
Yeah.
This turns over.
So I'm going to have to terminate this line.
Oh, hang on. Which one did you take first?
I took that one. No, I took that one first. It would have been that one first.
Okay, just checking. Just lost my chance of getting any water in this game. After you.
Okay, so I've terminated this line. So the first thing to do is look at my terminus cards. Now, I can terminate based on number of sheds, number of terrain types on the line, and I will terminate with this because it's a number of different terrains on the line, and I've got 1, 2, 3 different terrains, which is going to get me 10 coins. So I'll take my 10 coins right up front. So that's my 10 coins going in. I'll top up my terminus cards, and we'll deal with those in a moment. The next thing is 2 points per feature on the line. There's 2 features on the line, which is this sidings and this shed. So that's 4 points, taking me to 20. Now, do I get any more points for this? I've got a cattle shed here, so I get points for cattle, so I get 21 points. I get 1 point, taking me to 21.
I was going to say.
And then for every different type of terrain on the line, which is 3, I'm going to get a point as well. So that's given me an additional 4 points. So that wasn't...
Additional 4 points
Yes.
would be 25 on 21.
Additional 3 points.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
My maths was right, the things coming out of my mouth were wrong. So that's another line terminated for me. And Kirsty, it's over to you.
Now, I'm stuck in a really sticky situation here because I only have 2 coins. And if I place that card, it's going to not terminate the line, actually. So I think I might take this one, which gives me 3 coins. I'll pop it on there, which gives me a siding for the end of game scoring. Now, the other thing which I'll consider at this point is what scoring cards are available. So this one is at least 1 cattle and fewer cattle than any other section on the line. Now this one, I don't think that's going to work. 3 types of terrain on the line. Depending on what comes up, that might work there. Exactly 3 means I'm only going to get if everyone's different. Maybe I've only got 3 to spend. Every terrain on the line is it's the same type. That's a lot to sign at this stage. So fewer than any other line type. Oh, I don't know what to do. I will go for 1 on there and spend 3 to buy this one here. So there's 1 here. So I've definitely got 1 here. And I just want to clarify with Phil, this is as and when the line terminates, isn't it? Yeah. So at least 1 and fewer than any other type on the line, which means I have to discore that one. The cattle line's going that way and that way, isn't it? I'm just thinking if I can wiggle.
Do you wiggle?
Yes, I need to wiggle to do that. Okay, I'll worry about that at the time. Okay. So, quick check, I haven't terminated.
Should we pause that at that point? Okay, so that's that is how you play Village Rails. We're about exactly halfway through the game at this
Yes,
stage.
we are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays left and 6 played.
Yeah, there are. So, first and foremost, it is absolutely worth saying that this has been a huge amount of game stacked into this
Tiny
box. So in this box, you're getting a stack of cards, you're getting these little player tableaus, and by the time the game's built on the table, it's a full-size board game.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Really, really well done. And also really complement the idea of these as scoring totes.
Yes. It's really important to keep track of your score as you're going along, because if you're trying to do it at the end of the game, you won't know at which point, the trains have scored, etc. If that had the least amount of cattle at that time, it's important.
I would say more games should do scoring this way.
Very much so.
Because it's just nice. And it just, Anyway, that's like a little sort of, an ease of play aid, which works superbly well at this game.
Like the player cards as well, they make it easier to refer to remember what each of the symbols mean, especially in early players as well.
So the only thing I would complain about at this stage is graphic design sometimes causes problems.
Yes, I agree. So if we give a little example here on my hand.
Pick any of the trees.
Any tree or,
sometimes
any tree. Well. The water as well, if I just take this card from the water. So there are symbols on here. Obviously you can see the, I'll put that there. You can see the wheat here. There's a water drop here and there's a tree here. They're so difficult to see. They could have put them in a white colour perhaps, just to show. It's just, that's mine, isn't it?
That is
just
yours.
A bit difficult. I can't remember which way these were.
The other way around.
Okay. It's just really difficult to see, and it's such a shame because it's such a good game. And the artwork it's there, but it's not too intrusive. But that one small graphic design issue, especially on your first few plays, you can see it's trees, you can see it's forest.
I was going to say...
But the iconography...
yeah, it's fair.
Actually,
it's an interesting one because the problem is not... No, the problem is the iconography.
Yes.
But the problem is also board gamers. Like, we'll bring the camera back onto us and I'll explain what I mean by that. Okay, so here's what I mean by the problem being board gamers. First and foremost, you stop seeing the cards. The cards are crystal clear, the terrain type that's on them, with possibly the exception of the village people. Because the YMCA is amazing.
Yeah.
But with the possible exception of the villagers, actually, all the terrain types are pretty clear. But as gamers, we immediately start looking for the icons rather than looking at the lovely artwork on the cards. And actually, what you'll find is people who haven't played a lot of board games, it won't bother them in the slightest.
This is a field. This is quite clearly a field. It's yellow. This is woods. This is clearly woods. It's green. This is a village. It's multicoloured. It has roads. It had fields. It's a village. So on. As board gamers, we destroy it for ourselves.
We ruin it for ourselves. Like, the artwork is really clear. It's lovely artwork.
Yeah.
It's very functional, but very pretty at the same time.
Yeah.
And it makes it really clear what the terrain is. But then they put icons in the corner, and we're like, oh, what's the icon on that? And actually...
you can just look at it and see it. It's just us being finicky.
But actually, it's worthy of note, because actually you could have sharpened that. You could have put, like you say, white, or even just contrasted white on the dark ones and black on the paler ones. Fine. It's a graphic design challenge, but actually it's okay. Another thing that may cause you some problems with this game is the very first couple of times you play, the idea of terminating and scoring is a bit of a... You're kind of getting your head around it.
Yes, very much so.
But actually, once you play a couple of times, it's fine. And you're looking forward to terminate a line because it brings you some money in. And
you need that money. Money is very tight in this game. Money gives you the freedom to pick and choose as you wish. But getting that money is really tricksy.
It is. Because the only way you can get money is by terminating lines. Mm-hmm. And sometimes at the start of the game, you'll have no clear strategy, no clear direction. No. And you go, do you know what? I just need to terminate a line to get some cash. And you'll terminate short little lines. And if you're lucky, you'll have like a locomotive that says... Like this one, if you 9 points minus 1 for every piece of track.
Yep.
Fine. That will help a lot.
But that's not 9 coins, that's points.
Points.
So,
But,
yeah.
But every line you terminate is points and cash. And you want to maximise both every time you terminate a line.
Yeah.
And that's really tricky to do. Kirsty, over to you. Any pros or cons?
So when I first saw this game, I was like, it's quite small. A friend of ours taught it us, wonderful Jacob, and he was like, you've got to try this game. My new favourite thing is a really big game in a really small box. And I was like, okay, let's see. And then the cards came out, and it was like, right, okay, I need to get my head around this. And actually, took a play or two, but then like at the end of the play, I was like, can we play again? Can we play again? Oh my God, I can beat you. Let's play again. And it's got that addictive nature to it that I'm sure I can score a few more points, or, now I understand the sidings. I'm going to try and make sure that every line has a siding. Or what? You get points for the number of signals on a line, and they cascade in points. It's like,
big
what?
Accumulators.
That's it. That's the word I was thinking of. Accumulator. So to me, it's like, got to play that again. It's a really, really good game. The one thing that does frustrate me about this game, other than the iconography, is the faff when someone takes one and you've got to move them down. But that's, it's in any
market draft
game.
Yeah. You're going to find that. And it is frustrating and it can be fiddly as hell. But it is something that happens in all market draft
it's fine.
games.
It's just something that personally annoys me. But it's fine. It's fine. It happens in a lot of games. But it's such a brilliant little game. It's great value for money as well. I think the recommended retail price is about 22, 25, something like that.
I think it's 22.
We managed to pick it up from about £19 from Firestorm Games at Aircon. And yeah, brilliant game. And yeah, really, really enjoyable. A lot of fun. Doesn't take up too much room, so you got plenty of room for other games, and you get definite value for money.
Yeah, and what I would say is the game delivers big think, small box.
Yes.
So you get a lot of big decisions, a lot of good decisions to make, a lot of frustrating decisions to make, all in one tiny box. Now, there's a couple of things that, yes, some of the graphic design might be a bit fiddly, rearranging the market might be fiddly, and that first couple of plays is going to be a little bit frustrating, so please get through them and get into your third and fourth play. You'll be right on board. You'll be right on board once you do.
Oh, wow.
I try. And then the other thing I would say about it is the cards are quite small. They're a small format card, and they're deliberately so. And at first I was like, why can't we have full-size cards? Well, because it would double the table size
it would.
space.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're thinking, actually, they fit a lot of information onto these small-size cards.
Yeah.
Why are more people not using the small format cards? Because that would reduce significantly the table print of a game. And actually, all of this game is about condensing great gameplay into small package, and it does it with serious skill. I would say Village Rails is an absolutely fantastic game. If you like that kind of set collection-y, route building-y, recipe fulfillment-y kind of thing, then this game is probably right up your street. It's formally not a train game. It's not an 18xx. It's not that kind of heavyweight monster. It is just a little game where you're building routes, you're making a bit of cash from the routes you build, and you're trying to get some passengers to have a nice day.
Do not let this little box size fool you. This is a very thinky game. You saw from the example round that we did, like, it's not just, I'll take that card and do that. You actually have to think through this move and the next few moves, and actually like what you can financially afford. It's so well delivered.
Yeah, it's a superb game. Well delivered. Thank you, Osprey Games.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew Dunstan and Brett Gilbert. For delivering a genuinely fantastic game in a wonderfully small package.
Let's not forget the artwork by Joanna Rosa.
There you go. So, Village Rails, absolutely worth your time.
Definitely.
If you like route building, set collection.
Definitely.
So, hopefully you have found this video useful and interesting. If you have, please like and subscribe.
Don't forget, we're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Just search for Ludus Vulpes.
Thank you all for your time today.
See you soon, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.